Pittsburgh native. Nico Horner at second base. Pedro Ramirez is the rookie designated hitter. Dansby Swanson had a big ribby last night and a .318 career hitter. Don't sleep on his OPS, .973 lifetime against the Pirates. And Miguel Amaya is catching tonight's ball game.
And for Paul Skeens, his Car Shield numbers, 22nd start for him, 9-8, 3.43 ERA, 138 strikeouts, and 115 in the third innings.
Here is the Pirates defense. It is brought to you by Levin Furniture and Mattress. Skeens, of course, pitches to Henry Davis. Ryan O'Hearn at first, Nick Gonzalez at second. No relation, but his double play partner tonight, Jacob Gonzalez, acquired about 10 days ago. Jared Triolo is at third. Ryan Reynolds, Jake Mangum, Esmeralyn Valdez in the outfield, left to right. Steven, what are tonight's keys to the game for you, presented by your Western PA Buick dealers?
Well, I love keeping it on theme, so I'm going Dr. Skeens in honor of that Dr. Robbie giveaway tonight. Would love to see him dicing the way that we've seen him do throughout his career. This is a tough Cubs team, as we discussed yesterday. They take a lot of pitches, but against Paul Skeens, we've seen teams be very aggressive. So be ready to see a little bit of change in their approach tonight, as they know Skeens will be in the zone.
And for me, Greg, buck the trend. We talked a lot about Shota Imanaga and the success he's had against this Pittsburgh Pirates club. Let's get it right tonight.
That's a good idea. Ready to go. Pete Crow Armstrong, one of the hotter hitters in baseball. 2 for 4, homered last night, tied the game in the 6th inning off Jared Jones. And first pitch strike, catches the outside corner. 4 for 15 in his career against Skeens. That's a .267 average. Skeens has struck him out 6 times. And a little pop-up, gonna be trouble. 0-1 splitter, just dribbled, almost comes to a stop at shallow left field.
Unfortunate for Paul Skeens right here. A pretty good pitch. It's just cued. Over the infield. You're right, Craig. This ball almost came to a stop. It may have. No, not quite.
Talk about a soft serve. That's 62 miles an hour, the exit velocity. But it's a hit, and look at this. He takes off. Skeens throws wide. Had him picked off, but Skeens throws wide of the bag. And Crow Armstrong at second base, stealing on Skeens.
Now, we don't see a lot of stolen base attempts against Paul Skeens, and certainly not right when somebody gets on base. But you got to be on high alert when Pete Crow Armstrong's on the bases, and unfortunately, when Paul turns to throw right here, just yanks this fastball to second base.
High fastball to Seiya Suzuki. So Pete Crow Armstrong steals his 26th base. You were talking about this with us before the game, that he actually, his WAR went up 0.2 percentage points just from one game. He's got the highest WAR in baseball. Wins above replacement. And with his performance last night, on base 3 times, double homer. Walked intentionally in the 10th inning.
And it's hard to believe he had a very, very poor April to start this season as well.
1-2 on the sweeper. Suzuki, despite going 0 for 4, walked with the bases loaded in the 10th inning last night, so his on-base streak has reached 12 straight games. He, like Crow Armstrong, 4 for 15 lifetime versus Skeens. Struck him out.
A couple of really good off-speed pitches right here after 2 fastballs at the top of the zone to Seiya Suzuki. And I will say this is a tough time of day to pick up spin when it's cloudless and sunny this time of year.
Ball 1 on Michael Busch. The Pirates have done a nice job of taking that, as best they can, that reflection off the batter's eye. Over the winter, they painted a darker, almost matted green I guess kind of to your point, Neil, that contributed as well to the difficulties. But still, as you said, at this time of day, tough for hitters. And do pitchers pick up on that? If it's tough at this time of day to pick up spin, this pulled foul, maybe we'll ask Steven that too.
Yeah, that's a great question for Steven, but I remember, you know, obviously playing here for many years and hearing, coming back to the dugout and letting the pitcher and catcher know, like, hey, it's hard to pick up spin right now, just so you know. I know you don't want to completely change your arsenal and how you're going to attack guys, but if you're in between pitches, spin sometimes for the first couple innings at this time of year is a lot better than fastballs.
Pickoff try. Dr. Steven, what do you think of that?
Yeah, when I was in Double-A, we were playing in Richmond, and Adam Frazier came up to me and said, hey, man, you cannot see the spin right now. Just give this guy 3 sliders. Let's get back in the dugout. I threw a first pitch fastball. A guy hit double, and Frazier gave me the ball back and just said, you're an idiot.
1-2 in the dirt, picked that slider.
But I think you and I have had this conversation before, Greg, not to keep going down this rabbit hole, but playing in Indianapolis, interestingly enough, it's so far, it's one of the farthest west eastern time zone cities. There would be times that in the 8th or 9th inning it would still be light out, so you would have a lot of issues with shadows in Indianapolis.
Well, he goes with a changeup and strikes out Michael Busch. So after the hit and the stolen base, strikeout looking of Suzuki on the breaking ball, and there's the changeup.
Yeah, this one right here, not perfectly located, but you get Michael Busch chasing because he's just hoping to make contact with 2 strikes there. That one flies a little bit more horizontally than we see Skeens' changeup a lot, but hey, if that's going to work, that'll work.
Of course, he's understandably been under a microscope since he made his major league debut against the Cubs back on May 11th, 2024. So, and breaking down every pitch, every outing, of course, of Paul Skeens. A fly ball to right center field. Mangum racing over and makes the catch. Bregman sent it a long way, but PCA stranded. Pirates come to bat against
Bensinger.
Big Mangum made the nice running catch in right center field off the bat of Alex Bregman, and he'll lead things off against Shota Imanaga. That is Nick Gonzalez and Brian Reynolds. Esperlin Valdez is in right field. Rhino Hearn hits 5th. Marcelo Zuna back in there at DH against the lefty. Jared Triolo, 7-game hitting streak. Jacob Gonzalez, the lefty hitter, is at shortstop. Henry Davis catches. So Brandon Lau out of tonight's game. Shota Imanaga.
21st start for him. 3.91 ERA. Just under a strikeout an inning. And as Steven mentioned, look for the Pirates, especially early in this game, to be very aggressive on fastballs. Hope that Imanaga misses are more in the middle of the plate than they are off the plate, to avoid getting to those 2-strike situations and having to deal with that splitter.
Yeah, we saw Matthew Boyd yesterday using that fastball in on righties a lot, and Shota Imanaga features that same pitch. He's going to be using that a lot tonight. It can go against the game plan of the Pirates trying to go the other way.
And as a hitter, Steven, especially against a guy you know has had a lot of success, you're checking to see, especially that first time through the order, is he locating on the inner half? Do we have to respect that? And if we do we kind of swing the gate a little bit and try to get that bat head out? Or if he's not locating it in there, taking those pitches off the plate in and pushing them out over and trying to use that opposite field gap approach?
Shortstop Swanson. Easy play for Dansby Swanson. His double play partner is Nico Horner. Alex Bregman is at third with Michael Busch at first. Ian Happ, Pete Crow Armstrong, Seiya Suzuki in the outfield left to right. Miguel Amaya is the catcher. Bregman won a Gold Glove a couple years ago. Swanson's won a couple. Horner's won a couple. PCA last year Gold Glover. Ian Happ has won 4 straight Gold Gloves in left. So outstanding defense. Nick Gonzalez, an 8-game hitting streak. One for 5 last night. Batting average 3rd best in the league, 312. 0 for 11 in his career against Imanaga. during this stretch. The 8-game hitting streak, batting .361, but the Cubs have done a number on him in the season series. He has just 3 hits, including last night, and 23 at bats this year. And right to the second baseman, Horner.
Let's take a look at Imanaga's arsenal, brought to you by StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. The fastball and the splitter will be the main features here. You see he throws that fastball 41% of the time, even though there's not much velocity, but he pairs that really well with the splitter. You see the fastball up, the splitter down. That's what he's going to be doing tonight. Take a look at the averages against. Interestingly enough, that sweeper-slider combo, we've seen him use that later in games. He usually brings that out after he establishes his 2 main pitches.
Little short hop play made by Bregman, and nicely done. And a quick 1-2-3 bottom of the first. Nothing after 1. Like last night, scoreless after 1. PNC Park, top of the second. Cubs come to bat. Time for Penn West University stat of the day. Starters earned run average since the All-Star break. Top 2 teams in baseball since the Midsummer Classic. Pirates starting rotation ERA .270. The Cubs .279. Skeen's big part of that, of course. Just talked about his little run he's got going here, having won 3 straight after the Pirates had lost 9 consecutive games in which Skeens had started. They're trying to turn things around, and here is Ian Happ. Tom Kelly's club at 53-51. Craig Counsell's team has won 6 of its last 9.
Well, we saw the Pirates pitchers in yesterday's game really empty the tank arsenal-wise to Ian Happ, and were able to keep him at bay for most of the game outside of that basically swinging bunt later in the game that he was able to be safe at first base. Let's see if that trend continues. Started him off with a sweeper there, change up, and now a 4-seam. Really trying to throttle him, trying to get him sped up, trying to get him maybe looking for off speed. We saw him take a fastball in the zone with 2 strikes in yesterday's game. So maybe that's a sign of really trying to mix things up in the arsenal. Ian Happ.
Eight career starts against the Cubs. Skeens has a 2-3 record, .277 ERA versus Chicago. A little bit in on Happ, 2-2. Skeens has struck out 140 batters this season, 4th most in the league. His whip, walks, hits per innings pitched, still really good, 5th. Misses badly there with the fastball. Ian Happ has walked 5 times in 20 career plate appearances against Skeens. That's a bunch. Hard to figure that. And the other one is Michael Bush, who in 16 career plate appearances against Skeens has walked 6 times.
And 4 guys in the starting lineup today. Bush, Horner, Swanson, and Suzuki with home runs against Paul Skeens in their career.
Still 3-2 on Happ, who's got that on-base streak up to 42 consecutive games reaching base safely here at PNC Park. It's a PNC Park record for a visiting player. That's 3 for Skeens, twice looking.
Yeah, both those looking strikeouts on backdoor breaking balls. Take a look at this one, a slider. That one starts way off the plate, 3-2 count. You know, Happ is not necessarily looking to walk, but when he sees that ball starting off the plate, he kind of disengages for a second, and you see Skeens taking advantage of that. We've seen him already use more breaking balls than he used in his last game.
As Neil and Steven were just talking about the breaking ball, maybe at this time of day, tougher to pick up. It's a 6:40 first pitch, by the way. We've been playing 4 o'clock games all year on a Saturday. So this is Unusual for a Saturday game time here in Pittsburgh. 0-1. Oh, big cut. 97 upstairs. 0-2. Horner 1 for 4 last night. Horner has the distinction of being the first batter ever to homer off of Paul Skeens.
Hey, Greg, he hit his first career homer off of me.
Whoa, now how about that little nugget he brings up in the second inning?
Did you sign something for him?
No, I gave up 10 runs that day. I wasn't signing anything.
That is a trivia question. 1-2. Still 1-2 on Horner. His first career home run off of Brault. And the first homer Skeens allows in his career against Nico Horner. May 11th, 2024 here at PNC Park. Made his major league debut. Henry Davis, 2 outs.
Yeah, Paul Skeens, as Steven mentioned, already 7 sweepers thrown to 11 four-seam fastballs, so we can kind of see what he's trying to settle in with, that four-seam sweeper combination to both the lefties and the righties.
Don Kelly and Bill Murphy, pitching coach, next to him. Pedro Ramirez was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. And it was the infield single in the 10th inning to the shortstop, Triolo. A 22-year-old playing his 32nd major league game.
And Ramirez had trouble with the fastball yesterday against Jared Jones, especially those ones at the top of the zone. So my guess is Hall's going to be feeding him up there until he proves he can make an adjustment.
It was his first time then that Pedro Ramirez has ever faced Skeens.
Let's see, he swung through 2 straight fastballs. That one more in the heart of the zone. Let's see if he reaches back right here and tries to let something rip at the top of the zone.
Nothing. Head to the bottom of the second.
Care of our own.
Yinzerpalooza weekend includes tomorrow afternoon, 1:35. All kids 14 and under get a Daniel Tiger plush while supplies last, presented by Mrs. T's Pierogies. There's the magician, Esmeralyn Valdez. Get your tickets at pirates.com/Yinzerpalooza. Tomorrow, the Pirates have Braxton Ashcraft on the mound against Jameson Tayo. Valdez hitless in his last 10 at-bats, 0 for 4 last night. Faces Imanaga for the first time in his career. Three 3-0. Imanaga, just remarkable numbers against the Pirates. An .028 earned run average coming into this game. Valdez thought about a challenge, but doesn't do it on a 3-0.
And Imanaga's prone to the long ball. Yeah, that was definitely below the zone. 22 home runs given up this season.
Tied for third most in the league. Walked him. Well, that's a start. Anything against Imanaga.
You can see the respect that Valdez has already earned himself. Imanaga goes 3-0 on 3 splitters there to a rookie who's been in the big leagues for like a month. It's amazing that he's built that reputation already.
Now O'Hearn. Xfinity batting stats, reliable Wi-Fi at one price. At OPS just over 100. O'Hearn 2 hits in last night's game. Still 9th in RBIs 64 in the National League. Hearn had a base hit off the lefty Matthew Boyd last night. And then he singled his final at bat against the righty Jacob Webb. 1 ball, 1 strike. Plays off. Lefties hit 200 off Imanaga. Right-handed batters 244. Line toward right. That's going to carry out, however, to Suzuki.
I mentioned Ryan O'Hearn, 2 hits in yesterday's game. Going through a little bit of a lull since the All-Star break, but hit a couple balls hard in yesterday's game. And not so lucky right here, hitting this ball directly at Seiya Suzuki in right field.
Marcell Ozuna, 0 for 3, did draw a walk and scored a run last night. 2 for 9 in his career against Imanaga. Ozuna has reached base safely 5 of his last 6 games.
Now got a little bit errant with that fastball early in this game. Steven mentioned he loves that fastball at the very top of the zone. A part of you would rather him be missing in the heart of the zone, but guys in this league, typically their misses come just off the plate.
Hit hard to center, but PCA a little bit of trouble, but caught it. The sunglasses on, you could see him find the baseball in time.
You know, interestingly enough, talking to Jake Mangum about playing the outfield in these kind of situations, he actually told us he doesn't like wearing sunglasses out in center field these times of night because it's actually really hard to see the ball off the bat because it's so dark at home plate, even though it's bright in the outfield.
So I guess you got to make a choice, make a decision in that respect. You know, if you have trouble seeing it off the bat, but then if it gets in the sun, what do, right?
Well, the last thing you want to do is have your glasses on your head and misplay something, right? So you either wear them at this time of day or you roll the dice and just don't wear them and hope you can block the sun with your eyes or with your glove. I mean,
Triolo at the plate. A beautiful night. And a great look at this ballpark. Perfect 79 degrees at game time, and a strike called on Jared Triolo. 7-game hitting streak going. Last 20 games hitting over 300. Well, a fly ball to center field, and Pete Crow Armstrong makes the catch. Leadoff walk, stranded, nothing through 2.
Tonight, the biggest challenge for the outfield is if we don't have clouds, it's going to be a shadow. So you can't wear shades. It's too dark to see home plate because of the shade, and it's too bright on you. So tonight, if the sun's out, I'm going to go no shades in center field because it's the only way I can see the strike zone and see the ball off the bat. But then the ball's in the air, it's right in the sun, and I got to battle that.
Just what Stephen Brault and Neil Walker were talking about, and there he's got the shades on the top of his cap but not wearing them right now. Just he explained it to Alex Presley and Stephen Brault before the game on the BP show. Dansby Swanson takes ball 2. Taking a look inside, checking it out, and makes the decision.
Well, we know he's got a plan, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I mentioned you don't want to have him on your hat in case something goes wrong, but he clearly has an idea of what he's trying to do. And I guess if it got any worse, then he would resort to putting the glasses on.
Well, the fact that he went out there with them and decided to take a look, see if he could see the ball off the bat.
Oh, what a beautiful shot right there. Holy smokes.
Wow. 4-pitch walk to Dansby Swanson to start the third. And now Miguel Amaya. Ball one. He's 27 walks on the season and 142 strikeouts for Paul Skeens in 117 innings. And throws it down the right field line, and that's going to get Swanson all the way to third base.
Errant throws to the bases from Paul Skeens in the first 2+ frames, one to second base in that first inning, and this one right here. And unfortunately, this ball doesn't kick back for Rhino Hearn, but kicks down that right field line, and Dansby Swanson easily goes first to third.
Infield in, and Skeens, of course, so good in so many areas, including holding runners and those pickoff throws. That obviously clearly the worst in Skeens' career. Never seen that. In fact, that stolen base by Pete Crow Armstrong in the first inning, the first steal against Skeens this year, and that hits him. It's a piece of him. Puts first and third and brings up Pete Crow Armstrong.
Not often you see things feel like they're speeding up a little bit on Paul Skeens here, but another errant sweeper right there that he just kind of leaves arm side after leading that throw to first base arm side. So something a little bit off right now, but if anybody can get their timing back, we know it's Paul Skeens.
Big test. The middle infield is back. First pitch, ball one. Crow Armstrong, the stolen base, and Penn West University educating you. How about the fact that he had gone all year without allowing a steal? In fact, 466 batters faced going back to last year since the last stolen base for Skeens. As a swing and a miss. The last Pirate pitcher to face more batters before Skeens allowing a stolen base to begin a season, Steve Blass in 1969. Faced 499 batters in that 69 season. Skeens 466 before the stolen base, and 1 and 2. And of course, he's looking for a strikeout. He has struck PCA out 6 times in 16 at bats.
I would argue that that stolen base has a bit of an asterisk.
Yeah,
by it, right? But
it's still a steal, but it is
still
an asterisk for sure. 26 steals for Pete Crow Armstrong. Skeens had him picked off with a good throw to second base. 1 and 2. Does not get a chase almost at the top of the zone. Crow Armstrong has struck out 118 times. Now, what a big pitch this is. Third inning, first and third, nobody out.
We talked about how good Pete Crow Armstrong has been in the walk category in comparison to his previous years. Has more already this year, 53 of them, than he had in 24 and 25 combined.
3-2. Struck him out looking. Oh, that was huge. Huge.
I love Skeens just attacking all fastballs here. Started off with a changeup down in the dirt, and then he goes with the old number one over and over. And right here, that's just another case. We saw that yesterday, this Cubs team locking up on fastballs in the zone with 2 strikes. Skeens taking advantage of the patience there by PCA.
Suzuki pulls this sweeper foul. We've talked about this before, Stephen and Neil, about Skeens his first couple years, how good he was when he had trouble. It was like he turned it up a notch, and he soaked in the moment and stranded runners time and time again. Opponents are hitting .329 this year against Skeens with runners in scoring position. .329, that's the 5th highest mark in baseball. First 2 years in these situations, they hit .180.
Yeah, that's something we've been keeping an eye on over at the studio throughout the season, because it's really been the one thing that's been hugely different for Paul Skeens this season. When you talk about hits per 9, strikeouts per 9, walks per 9, very similar to his last 2 years. But runners in scoring position, it's been a struggle.
Oh, a challenge.
Pitch is called the ball to catch the challenger.
Did it catch the zone? ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Not that.
An overturn on the ABS from Henry Davis. Skeens. It's toward his battery mate, and now Michael Busch. These are the moments we saw from Skeens, especially his first 2 years. And a big sellout crowd. It's the Cubs. How he rises to the occasion. This place will go bonkers if he gets Busch. A walk, the errant throw, a hit by pitch. 0-2.
Now you got the arsenal open if you're Paul Skeens. 2 sliders that Busch has looked poor on.
Crowd trying to help Skeens.
Do you reach back and try to throw something by him at the top of the zone? Do you maybe run that 2-seam on the inner half? Or do you go right back to that sweeper in a good spot?
Center field, Mangum. A little bit of trouble, but finds it.
About it.
They've been with us this whole process, and this is truly, a story that we couldn't have done without Pirates Charities.
Jake Mangum coming in. Can't see. I can't see it.
That was an out nonetheless. Off the bat, I thought this might be trouble.
First pitch to Jacob Gonzalez. Takes ball 1. Getting a start at short. The lefty batter acquired from the White Sox. Hitting 8th. And this is his first start as a Pirate here at PNC Park. In 7 games with the Bucks, 5 for 17, 2 homers. Those numbers combined with the White Sox. The rookie has actually hit a little bit better in terms of OPS, on base plus slugging, against lefties. .775 OPS versus southpaws. Two and 2. John Kelly gives Brandon Lau the night off, so Jacob Gonzalez comes in to play short. Nick over to second. Jared Triolo, who's played mainly short, over to third. Imanaga strikes out Gonzalez looking.
Now time for the Jägermeister coldest moment of the night. Paul Skeens getting ice cold. First and third, nobody out. He goes strikeout looking, both on fastballs, and then gets the fly ball out from Michael Busch. See Jake Mangum fighting the sun there in center field. But man, that's the Paul Skeens we know and love. He just gets better with runners in scoring position. That's the biggest change we've seen as he's really gone back to this Paul Skeens of old. I say that like he's been around for a long time. It feels like he has. Really good stuff from Skeens.
Henry Davis. Davis helped the cause by challenging that one pitch that turned out to be a strikeout of Suzuki. Davis last night on base 3 times, a couple of hits, a walk, had an infield RBI single. Imanaga is the 8th left-handed starter the Pirates have faced in their last 10 games. To right field, and Suzuki. So he has gotten a strikeout and a flyout, and he faces the order a second time. Mangum grounded out on 5 pitches, leading off the bottom of the first. And as he shows bunt, he of course tried to bunt on his own. There's no sign from the dugout last night in the 10th inning. If obviously you're down 2 runs, you're not being told to bunt by your manager. Mangum made that clear after the game last night. He was kicking himself. Tried to lay down the perfect bunt. The automatic runner at second base. Pirates trailing by 2. And he bunted the ball right to Alex Bregman. Imanaga has flirted with history a couple times against the Pirates. Last April, this past April, at Wrigley Field on April the 10th, he went 6 innings of no-hit baseball, but he reached the 100 pitch mark through 6 innings and was lifted. The Pirates ended up winning that game, scoring 2 in the 7th off reliever Caleb Thielbar on the home run by Brian Reynolds. They won that game at Wrigley 2-0. No decision for Imanaga. Still 1-2. Second time he had a no-hit bid against the Pirates a couple of years ago. He tossed 7 innings to start a combined no-hitter September 4th, 2024. Off the glove of the third baseman Bregman. And headed to second. No, he puts on the brakes, but the ball gets past second. More mayhem. It's like he attracts mayhem.
I think there should be another category for spark plug, right? You know, when you think of guys like him and Josh Harrison and these guys that just always seem to be in the middle of chaos.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect prime example of this.
Every time the ball gets past somebody.
Just pure chaos.
It's a base hit E6.
I just hear in my head every time a ball goes in play from him like that.
There's Swanson.
So interesting here. You take a look at Nico Horner. That throw was way off to the side, but Horner was staying on second base because he thought Mangum was coming. And that's why that throw goes errantly, gets the extra base. Everybody's scared of Mangum mayhem.
Yeah. He's a magnet to mayhem. Plays with a passion for this game and for this team. And the error created by that moment No chance with 2 outs for Nick Gonzalez.
And that one does go down, at least currently, as a hit for Jake Mangum with an error on Dansby Swanson. We haven't had many opportunities over the course of the 34 plus innings against Imanaga. You feel like you'd love to take advantage of an opportunity like this with a man in scoring position.
Got to feel like Gonzalez is due for a hit against him. 0 for 12 lifetime versus Imanaga. Nick Gonzalez, the 3rd best average in the National League. .384 batting average in the month of July. But Imanaga strikes him out. And it's still nothing through 3.
Day.
Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by your Western PA Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Jason Grilli on the Insurpalooza weekend signing some autographs. And there in the team store as his pitch is a strike called.
Grilled cheese, one of the best.
Topps card. Make your own Topps card with Jason Grilli, the team store.
Doesn't lack any personality, does it?
No. Grilli, who was such a big part of the playoff run. 33 saves in that 2013 season. 35 chances. Paul Skeens able to get out of that huge jam. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Strikeout, strikeout, fly out. Bregman flied to right center field his first time up.
Well, not shocking to this point, feeling like another game that's going to come down to somebody getting a big hit or making a big play. These 2 guys are on cruise control as of right now, Skeens and Imanaga.
Another strikeout. He's racking them up. 7 of them for Skeens.
Breaking balls have been the main feature for Paul Skeens tonight, other than the 4-seam fastball. You see another one there. He has been spotting up those pitches. And it's not the same Skeens we've seen recently. That last start, he was almost all fastball, changeup, and splitter. So interesting to see the change here.
Happ struck out looking the 2nd. Eight career starts for Skeens against the Cubs. This is 77th career start in the big leagues.
We got Ian Happ on a backdoor sweeper, looking for strike 3 in that 2nd inning. Let's see what he does here.
Two.
Take a look at Ian Happ's last about. I want to see if you guys notice anything that Paul Skeens was trying to do here. Look at the location of these pitches after those first 2. The way that Paul Skeens is able to take advantage of a hitter's weakness, just up and away, up and away, up and away. It's amazing the command he has with the stuff he's got. Unbelievable.
Yeah, good timing. Wanted the chase, got it. 8 Ks.
And why not go back to the well? Look at that, up and away. That's clearly the scouting report on Ian Happ they've got. And it makes sense. His swing is more of kind of an uppercut, so that up and away location is going to be tough for him to get a barrel to the ball.
8 strikeouts for Skeens. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Nico Horner fouled out in the 2nd. He walked Swanson on 4 pitches leading off last inning, and then he hit Amaya with the breaking ball. And some of these fastballs right down the middle, and they're just not seeing it.
He's got some extra life to that fastball this evening. And 2-0 count, nobody on base to Nico Horner. He knows there's a high probability he's going to get attacked with a fastball, and still swinging through it in the heart of the zone.
Not happy with himself there, shaking his head. 3-1. He's got 2 strikes on him. Worth repeating about how tough Horner is to strike out. But Skeens is a different cat. Strikes him out looking, strikes out the side in order. Nothing to the bottom of the 4th.
Right there.
Welcome to the Toyota Rav 4th inning. Pirate fans and Cub fans being treated to a spectacular evening. Great ballpark, great baseball, and quite a pitcher's duel early on. And Paul Skeens has struck out 9 Cubs through 4 innings. Here's Brian Reynolds. Now, Nico Horner is the 2nd toughest batter in the league to strike out behind Luis Arraez of the Giants. But Skeens got him looking. And so now Reynolds leads off. Esmerlin Valdez to follow. And then O'Hearn. Swanson in foul ground. Nice play. Asby Swanson. There's the catch. Good buddy Brian Reynolds. Somebody trying to figure out, somebody somehow, some way figure out what to do against Shota Imanaga, what it is with this guy. This has the Pirates hitters completely baffled, and this is his 6th career start against them.
When you're if you're Don Kelly, you're tempted, if you can get some base runners, to try some kind of backwards things that you don't see a ton of, like hitting and running. You don't see a lot of that against left-handed pitchers. You know, bunting, anything.
Yeah.
Attempted stolen bases, anything to create some more traffic. But you got to get guys on base first. That's the most important thing.
Foul tip, strikeout. Just the 3rd strikeout.
Just right after Valdez. This one exactly, that's the pitch that he really wants you to swing at. And if you don't swing at that, you're probably either getting another one there or the split off of that.
Ryan O'Hearn. Imanaga in his 3rd year in the States with the Cubs. O'Hearn lined out to right field, 102 miles an hour, but lined out to the right fielder. Two 2-0. Stephen Brault is down by the dugout. Stephen, what is it with this of Imanaga? Why is he so tough from your vantage point?
Well, it just seems like everything out of the hand looks the same. It's hard to tell from here other than the drop vertically, whether it's a splitter or fastball. And as a hitter, it's going to be hard to pick that up. Uses that breaking ball against lefties.
Well, this lefty on a 2-0 pitch, it's the fastball on the right.
Are you hearing or seeing any frustrations in the dugout or anything of note, guys coming back in the dugout sharing with one another in accordance with what Imanaga's been doing?
Yeah, quite the contrary, actually. I think, you know, coming into this game, understanding that Imanaga has been really good against the Pirates, I think it's more of the plan is, hey guys, let's keep it together. Let's take our time here. Let's try to get to him over time, and maybe this is the start of it right there.
Osuna lined out to center field, his first at bat.
One the thing that I'm noticing too, Greg, is and a lot of good pitchers do this, or a lot of pitchers that have a lot of success against lineups over and over, a lot of times their misses are in good spots that aren't going to get them hurt. And that's the thing that I've noticed over the last couple starts with Imanaga against the Pirates, is he's rarely missing in the heart of the zone. He's missing on the edges, and he's missing below or above the strike zone where he can't get hurt too bad.
Well, fly out by Osuna, and it's still 0-0 through 4.
And Grogu. Buy now only on digital.
From the home of the greats, where they known for the place that's still city. Damn, I got that Pittsburgh sound, and I'm always on Pittsburgh now. This was Khalifa, man. You can't tell by now. Pittsburgh, I'm a small town.
Appropriate Wiz Khalifa. The Interpalooza weekend. And Pirates and Cubs scoreless through 4. With Pedro Ramirez against Skeens. Pop up. Davis. We talk about a lot with Skeens. You love the strikeouts. They're exciting. He's got 9 of them, but the more people you strike out, the quicker the pitch count ratchets up, and he's up now to 68. That's a pretty good number considering he has struck out 9 batters.
And his high on the season back on June 3rd at Houston is 109 pitches. And last time out, as you mentioned, at Cleveland, 100 pitches. So just keep getting those outs. Looks to be in a very good spot right now. This was the part of the order last time through that caused a little bit of stress for him. Swanson walking and hits Amaya. Was able to get himself out of that jam.
Shallow center field and a base hit. So the 2 hits, just little flares. The leadoff hit by Pete Crow Armstrong, and that one by Dansby Swanson. That just 78 miles an hour. But they're hits. And now Amaya, who's a double play candidate, a catcher hitting 9th.
This is the guy that's, as you mentioned, is a good candidate for starting him off with a sweeper right there, a fastball away, and then running something, whether that be the 2-seam or the split, down and in, and seeing if you can get a chase or a swing in there to potentially get something on the ground to the left side of the infield.
Big lead there by Swanson.
Yeah, same position he was in last time. No surprise seeing Skeens go over there. I didn't know that he hadn't given up a stolen base in so long. It seems like the only way an offense would be able to get to second base off of Skeens.
You don't have your stopwatch down there?
No, I gotta get that going. I have a pen. I'll click my pen and count in my head.
Well, I say that because usually the first base coach, he's the one that has the stopwatch down there, and they obviously know how quick opposing pitchers are to home plate. And when they get to certain numbers, those are the ones that if you got the more speedy runners, they give you what's called the green light to go whenever you want.
0-2. This is so interesting here because, and Skeens knows this, they're only one out, and you really want the double play because Pete Crow Armstrong is on deck. Now, you can't just serve it up. I mean, you can't just order it and get the double play.
Well, and that's why I mentioned that the two pitches that I like are either that two-seamer, that splitter, splinker, down and in.
And it's a base hit. He goes the other way, the fastball. And it's first and second. Amaya.
Let's see where. Yeah, it looks like Henry Davis was set up on the inner part of the plate, and Paul just missed the spot. And with 2 strikes in a protect mode, if you're able to go to the opposite field, that's not an easy single, but certainly an easier way to find the barrel, shorten it up and backing the ball up a little bit.
This is not a guy you double up most nights. Pete Crow Armstrong just looking for an out any way you can get it. Struck him out looking on a 3-2 pitch in the 5th. A 24-year-old from Thousand Oaks, California, Pete Crow Armstrong. Same town that produced Jack Wilson. 1-0. Pulls it foul. Just a loud foul. He was originally drafted by the Mets back in 2020. Traded over deadline deal 1 year later. Swanson at second, Amaya at first, 1 out. Third time they've had a runner at second base. Change up, and it's 1-2. And Crow Armstrong was really frustrated. Striking out looking on that 3-2 fastball in the 3rd.
Three changeups in a row to start off PCA here. That was a really good one after he pulled that changeup foul at 110.
And back to another one.
Steven, as a former pitcher, when you get that 3rd time through the order, does your thought process change much, especially with those first 4 guys in the order that can typically do more damage?
Yeah, you want to give them something maybe they haven't seen, or if you've established somewhere you really can attack, to make sure you hit that same spot. You see Skeens is taking an eye on Dansby Swanson. He did try to get a break 2 pitches ago after that pickoff. Take a look at what he's thrown today. See that sweeper 30% of the time.
Two. Right center field, hit well. Mangum looks up. It's going to short hop the wall. 1 run in. First cutoff man overthrown, but right there to Nick Gonzalez, double for PCA. Swanson scores. 1-0 Cubs in the 5th.
Let's see where this pitch ends up. It's not a bad pitch. I think maybe Paul just went to the changeup well one too many times, and Crow Armstrong was somewhat looking for it, because that's about the only way you're able to lift this pitch, is if you're sniffing it out and sitting off speed.
Infield in now. Looked at that ball. Might have did it short hop the wall there and hit the track?
I think it did.
Looked like, yeah. The other way, and this is going to score 2 more. It's 3-0. Seiya Suzuki 2-run single brings home Amaya and Pete Crow Armstrong.
Third time through the order. These first two hitters clearly have made adjustments. They were 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts coming into this inning. And Crow Armstrong with the RBI double, and Seiya Suzuki just trying to do anything he can to fight something over the infielder's head. And is able to do it and score 2.
With a timeout here, Henry Davis. So Pete Crow Armstrong doubles home the first run. Swanson's base hit came with 1 out. It was just 78 miles an hour. Soft serve into center, and then Amaya, the big hit to right field, the 1-2 pitch just grounded it through the right side of the infield. And Suzuki hits it the other way. Didn't hit it all that hard, but brings in 2 more. Now it's Michael Busch. Busch has struck out and fly to center. 0-2. 5 hits now for the Cubs, leading 3-0. Skeens got the rookie Ramirez to foul out to the catcher Davis to start the inning. Then the Swanson base hit, Amaya to right. Pete Crow Armstrong doubles to right center. And 1 ball, 2 strikes. Three runs in the 5th inning. Two. Change-up misses.
Again, looking back at the start of this inning, you mentioned the pop out by Ramirez, but Dansby Swanson once again just right in the middle of all the damage, it seems, every time he faces these buccos.
And he gets the strikeout. 10th strikeout, little consolation, but that is the 4th time this season he has struck out 10 batters.
Seeing Skeens go back to that breaking ball. We've seen in this inning kind of straying away from that, starting to use the changeup a lot more instead of the sweeper, which we saw him using earlier in the game. Interesting to see if he's going to start using that breaking ball more, as there's one right there.
We really haven't talked much about, not quite the disappearance of the splinker, but boy, has it taken a back seat to other pitches. So prominent his first couple years.
Yeah, and coming into today, Greg, using that splitter, 14% against the left-handed batters and only 7% against the right-handed batters. And that sweeper, which Stephen mentioned, almost 27% against the righties and 8% against the lefties. And that's jumped up considerably today, in particular against the right-handers.
One and 2 on Bregman. 11 strikeouts would match his career high. Done that twice previously. Both 11 strikeout performances came in his rookie year. 1 and 2 on Bregman. Now he does get 11 to match a career high, but the Cubs touch him up for 3 to the bottom of the 5th. Go all in on game nights with MLB Plus. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcasts of every game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Pirates offense needs to somehow get jump-started here. What is the secret formula to get to Imanaga? talking about a Pirates team that came into this game having scored the second most runs in all of Major League Baseball, behind only the Washington Nationals. They have the most hits in all of baseball.
Steven, this is usually when somebody starts to go down to the bat rack and starts to have conversations with the bats. Is there any of that going on down there?
It doesn't look like it. Looks like everybody's trying to figure out. You know, it's interesting with Imanaga. You almost want to see these guys kind of chop on top of the ball the way his fastball is getting in on that.
Man. There's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to Stevens' point right there. Speaking of bats, assistant clubhouse, an assistant bat boy who is going to be leaving after this weekend, Luke McCarron, is going to attend law school at Suffolk University in Boston. Been around 3 years now, helping out Kier Bowles and company. And best of luck to Luke McCarron. The fly ball to center field. Jacob Gonzalez is going to be a quick second out. Boy, this is something else. Imanaga continues to baffle Pirates hitters. Henry Davis, and only 57 pitches. Incredibly efficient.
If Imanaga were to get through this inning without giving up a run, that would be 37 innings, only giving up 1 run in his career against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It's truly one of the great starts in any pitcher's career against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Through 6 starts, Dwight Gooden had an 0.72 ERA against the Pirates through his first 6 big league starts, and this is Imanaga's 6th start against the Pirates, and his ERA coming in 0.28. Bobby Ojeda, the lefty for the Mets, had an 0.77 ERA against the Pirates in his first 6 starts. 1-2. And only 3 Pirates have ever had an extra base hit against them. And the only run scored against Imanaga was August 16th last year. Tommy Pham had a home run. Jared Triolo and Andrew McCutchen are the only other Pirates have an extra base hit against him. He's allowed 2 hits today so far, 2 singles. That means the Pirates have collected a total of 15 hits in his 36 career innings against the Pirates. Imanaga starred, of course, in Japan for a number of years, signed as a free agent with the Chicago Cubs. His last start against the Minnesota Twins, 7 shutout innings. And Davis working it, 3-2. And that's a fair ball. Kicks off the short fence, and wouldn't you know it, right to Ian Happ. Does a nice job getting it to it quickly, but it's a 2-out single instead of a 2-out double.
And one of the rare occurrences that when a ball goes down there in one of the corners, it kicks out, especially that left field short wall down there. If it hits that portion of it, it usually kicks out, and if you play it right as a left fielder, you're usually able to keep that runner from getting to second base.
Looking for some 2-out action here. Strike 1 on Mangum. Packed house. Cubs score 3 in the top of the 5th off Skeens. And 2 strikes on Mangum. Ground ball, and the first baseman right there, Michael Busch. 5 innings complete. Imanaga and the Cubs shutting out the Bucks 3-0. Well, this homestand will continue against the Arizona Diamondbacks on Monday, and then next homestand includes the Mets in town Friday night, August 7th, 6:40. Don't miss Post Games and Belly Fireworks Show presented by Ford. Go to pirates.com/fireworks. Friday, August the 7th. First pitch to Ian Happ is taken for ball 1. And 3 with the Diamondbacks, and then on the road to Cincinnati and Milwaukee, and home for just those 3. August 7th, 8th, and 9th, a weekend series against the Mets. Just 2 homestands in August. The Mets and a brief road trip to Miami, and then the Red Sox and Tigers. Pirates.com for tickets. 1 ball, 1 strike on Happ. And a challenge here, second of the night.
Call the ball to catch the challenger.
Henry Davis. Corey Blazer is the home plate umpire. Henry Davis is 2 for 2.
Overturned. Pittsburgh has 2 remaining.
His first challenge in the 3rd inning resulted in a strikeout of Seiya Suzuki. And now 2-2. And Isaac Matson starts to loosen in the Pirates bullpen. Skeens has hit the 96 pitch mark. Pop up out of play. 11 strikeouts for Skeens. Matches his career high. It's the first time he has struck out as many as 11 in Pittsburgh. So career high strikeout total in this ballpark. His second career start was at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Struck out 11 Cubs. After he made his debut here 6 days later at Wrigley Field, May 17th, 2024, pitched 6 innings of no-hit ball and struck out 11. His other 11 strikeout performance, July 11th that year in Milwaukee against the Brewers. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. O'Hearn. Well, you know he wants to get through 6. Probably has to get Horner and Pedro Ramirez. If anybody reaches, good chance Don Kelly goes to get him.
And I mentioned Paul Skeens' high of the season is 109, so he's only 10 away from that. I think you're right, Greg. I think you're probably going to give him an opportunity to get these next 2 guys, and if he doesn't, probably going to do it for him this evening.
We might find out right now. Base hit if he lets him face 1 more batter as Horner singles at exactly 100 pitches. Not moving yet, Don Kelly. That 109 pitch mark occurred on June the 3rd in Houston. Exactly 100 pitches his last start in Cleveland. And so Don Kelly is going to keep him in for now. And ball 1. Davis turning and asking the home plate umpire Corey Blazer something. Two and 0. The hit by Horner, the 6th of the night. 4 came consecutively last inning and produced the 3 runs. 3-1. Rookie Pedro Ramirez facing Skeens here.
And this is certainly the guy that you want to attack right here with Dansby Swanson sitting on deck, and whether he gets Ramirez or not sure if Skeens will be pulled after this, but you want to attack him right here if you get the if you can. He's had trouble with the fastball in the first 2 games of this series.
Ball 4. And here comes Don Kelly. Sometimes he goes out and asks, but this is going to get the baseball right away from him. So Skeens goes 5 1/3. And it's 3-0 Cubs.
Or visit MetaConnectInsurance.com.
3-0 Cubs. They've got 2 on, 1 out at the top of the 6th inning. And this Pirates pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust. It's Isaac Mattson.
Isaac Mattson, 2 games against the Cubs this year. He has not given up a run in 2 innings. He's given up 2 hits. His last 4 outings, he has not given up any runs either. He has 4 strikeouts to only 1 walk in that span. Good to see him starting to feel more comfortable, seeing that fastball velocity crawl back up into the mid-90s. And hopefully right now you're looking for a double play ball or maybe a pop-up to the infield. Either way, got to shut this offense down here, give your team a chance on the offensive side.
And he's out there for the first time in a week as he faces Dansby Swanson. Pulled foul.
Yeah, we've seen that slider and changeup usage tick up. The slider to the righties mainly, and the changeup to the lefties off that fastball. Still throwing about almost 75% fastball to both the lefties and righties. But he's worked hard to mix in that slider and changeup.
Line to left field and a base hit. This will score another. 4-0. Swanson into second base with a double. As Horner scores, and Pedro Ramirez, the rookie, into third. Swanson on base for a 3rd straight time.
And that's our slider we were talking about, just not in a particularly great spot. If it's down a little bit, that's the one that you get on the ground to the pull side usually from these righties. Swanson again, just torturing these Buccos pitchers.
Infield in all the way around, and that's just foul off the bat of Amaya.
Yeah, infield in. Good chance that the runner on third, Ramirez, is still going to be on contact with a 4-run lead. Force this Pirates defense to make a play at home, even if it's a quote-unquote guaranteed out.
Maya was hit by a pitch and singled against Skeens. One and two. So for now, Skeens has given up 4 and is responsible for Ramirez at third base. 5 1/3 innings, 4 runs to this point on 6 hits. Another hit, and it's 5-0, and it's going to be 6-0 as Amaya delivers on a 1-2 pitch from Mattson.
And Pirates pitchers have not been able to retire either Dansby Swanson, the 8-hole hitter, or Miguel Amaya, the 9-hole hitter, in 6 at-bats. That's 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a double, a walk, and a hit by pitch.
And the book closed on Paul Skeens. He gives up 5 runs in 5 1/3. Pete Crow Armstrong was 2 for 3 against him.
Very different seeing Isaac Mattson go with so many sliders against those first 2 hitters. I understand wanting to kind of change things up, but for Mattson, it's the fastball, man. The fastball is special. And you know what? I got to tell you, I got away from my best pitch all the time. It happens. But now you want to settle back in, try to get yourself out of this inning.
Yeah, Mattson's fastball was that disappearing fastball. So good at it. Had such great command of it. And well, they just decided that he had gotten touched up a couple times to send down the minor leagues to, I don't know, change sequencing and add some. But I think you're right, Stephen.
And you know, Stephen, stop me if I'm wrong, but especially with relievers that, you know, are typically 2, maybe 3 pitch guys, if you're going to kind of go down per se, you want to go down on your best pitches, right? You want to go down on your strengths more so than your second or third best pitch, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. You want to know that you gave yourself the best opportunity to get outs. And with Mattson, we know that's the fastball. And it's different because, yeah, maybe the other team also knows it's the fastball, but it doesn't matter when it's a very special pitch like it has been for Isaac Mattson throughout his short major league career.
He was so successful last year. And this year, you know, started off strong and used a bunch in April. And then toward the end of April, gave up a handful of runs in 1 outing, and 2 appearances later gave up a couple runs. There's a line drive, right field, base hit, past the right fielder Valdez. This will not score a run because, thankfully for the Pirates, it's the slow-footed Amaya running. Otherwise, anybody else on the roster scores. Another double for Pete Crow Armstrong.
Again, another pitch to Pete Crow Armstrong. That's not in a bad spot that he's able to take advantage of. You don't see many hitters pull that pitch away from them righties and lefties against Isaac Mattson unless you're really committed to getting out and getting that barrel out there. And that's a good example right there. You can still pull the ball successfully away from you if you keep that barrel flat through the zone on balls away from you.
Infield in again, and Mattson has given up a double, single double. Suzuki with the 2-run single to right has reached base safely in 13 straight games. Two and two. Ron Marinaccio looks like he's going to make his Pirates debut tonight. Picked up from the Padres the other day. Strikes him out looking.
This pitch right here, you end up getting the front door. We've seen that a few times now. Good looking strikeouts by the Cubs. That pitch right there, not where Matson was trying to throw it, but it actually ended up profiling off the fastball in really well. Hard to pull the trigger on that pitch when it starts right at your hip.
And that strikeout was presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Ball to strike on Michael Busch. The 3-4-5 hitters held hitless against Skeens, didn't reach. 6 of his 11 strikeouts versus Busch, Bregman, Happ. But here he delivers another hit that scores 2 more, and now Cubs have taken an 8-0 lead. 10 hits. A 2-run single for Michael Busch.
Yeah, fastball on that outer edge. Busch, just like Pete Crow Armstrong, goes out and just keeps that barrel flat, and through that to the pull side. It's going to be the 9th batter of the inning here.
Davis going to call time and walk out to the mound. Frustrated Isaac Matson.
Yeah, Neil, you were talking about the Pico Armstrong hit on the fastball that was on the outside corner, him pulling that in the right center. You know, with Matson, the way that his fastball works, it has such good carry that when he throws it down at the very bottom of the zone, people can't pull the trigger, or they end up swinging late because they don't recognize it as a strike. And then when he gets it up, he gets the swing and miss or the weak foul balls because of just the carry that it has on it. The problem is when you throw across the middle like that, it just gives guys an opportunity, a much better opportunity to get the barrel to it, and that's kind of what we've been seeing from Matson. Greg, you mentioned that command he had, getting that down, that fastball down, worked for Matson so well. He's got to find that here.
Oh, and he would be a guy, Steven, if you see him come in and you start to have conversations on the on-deck circle or in the dugout, that you'd say, don't give up on the fastball down in the zone because it has life and it's not going to sink. It's not going to go down. It's going to stay on that plane. And if you see it up out of his hand, don't go attack it because you're not going to do much with it, just kind of like that one right there. So when you get into 2-strike modes or you're looking for that fastball with relievers especially, you're not necessarily feeling like you're going to get off your A swing all the time. So you have to be willing at times to kind of back down a little bit, maybe go to closer to a 2-strike swing to that fastball and not get big on it, because you'll get results if you just get to the pitch like Pete Crow Armstrong and Michael Busch did right there. They weren't trying to lift and separate and try to drive something in the gap. They knew if they were able to get that barrel to it and keep their barrel flat to it and through the zone, they were going to be able to hit something on the barrel pretty hard.
Check swing there, 3-2. Bregman, the 9th man to bat in the inning. The inning started with a ground out for Ian Happ, and then Nico Horner singled, and after the walk to Pedro Ramirez, Skeens exited in favor of Matson. Swanson, the RBI double, a 2-run single. Abaya, Pete Crow Armstrong, the double. And moments ago, Michael Busch singled in a pair, and Bregman walks. And it's Ian Happ to the plate for a second time in the inning. And here comes Don Kelly. Unfortunate. Matson. So we will see Ron Marinaccio make his. It is 8-0 Cubs, top of the 6th inning. 2 on for Chicago, 2 outs. They have batted around, and now we see Ron Marinaccio, who's picked up in a deal with the San Diego Padres on Thursday. He had been designated for assignment by San Diego. Pirates picked up Marinaccio in the trade international signing bonus pool considerations.
And the arsenal for Marinaccio, he's got a four-seam, he's got a changeup, cutter, and sweeper. To the lefties, mainly four-seam changeup, and to the righties, mainly four-seam cutter. Can touch 94, 95, mainly sitting right around 93, and 3.8 is what he's averaging.
He had pitched scoreless ball each of his last 3 outings with the Padres before being DFA'd. Change up 1 and 2.
Yeah, that right there will be the main secondary offering for Marinaccio. That nasty changeup. Gets a decent amount of swing and miss on that pitch.
Two and 2. First time Davis, of course, catches Marinaccio. He spent 3 years with the Yankees, was in his 2nd year with the Padres. And it gets past Davis, doesn't know where it is. Thought he had blocked the ball, or at least kept it in the dirt circle, but it had gone back to the backstop. So a wild pitch moves the runners up 90 feet.
Stephen, how do you handle when you have new catchers back there, or you know, obviously Henry Davis, it's the first time he's caught Ron Marinaccio in a game. Do you just try to communicate as much as you can going into the game, where your misses are and that type of thing?
Yeah, there's some that you just got to learn by working together. You see the walk there for Happ, and that's gonna, there you go, there's 43.
43 consecutive games in which Happ has reached at PNC Park.
But yeah, there is a learning process that you can only get by throwing in game, because even when you throw in the bullpen, it's not the same. And so for this kind of interaction right here, Henry Davis this is what really separates major league catchers that people don't understand. It is very hard to catch somebody throwing really hard with a ton of movement and not having seen them very, very often. So this shows off what Henry can do.
Horner with the 1-out single earlier in the inning off Skeens. Michael Bush, Alex Bregman, Ian Happ, the runners. 2 of those responsibility belongs to Matson. A line drive toward left, and the catch is made. Nicely done by Brian Reynolds to end a long top half of the 6th inning.
And the blue moon.
Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by Subaru of South Hills. Experience the advantage. And by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it, so you can stand in it. Gorgeous night, not so gorgeous score, but Pirates, that offense, even though it's been shut out time and time again by Imanaga, you never know. And it just might bust open, and boy, could they use a big inning here. And Imanaga did have to sit for a while, that long 26-minute top half of this 6th inning, looking for anything to disrupt them. Two and one. He's gotten Gonzalez to ground to second and struck him out in the 3rd. Now Imanaga just 3 strikeouts through 5 innings. So he's at 70 pitches. Of course, with all those Skeen strikeouts, he lasted just 5 1/3 as he reached 100.
Yeah, Greg, only 5 whiffs for Imanaga so far today, and 12 of his outs have either come on the four-seam fastball or the sinker. So the plan has been for the Pirates to try to get to the fastball, and Imanaga has been taking advantage of that by placing the fastball in unhittable places, and it's really worked for him. Kept the pitch count down and obviously kept the Pirates off the board.
Which is interesting too, guys, because the Pirates batters, they got a good piece of Amaya, you see. Pirates batters came into this game having struck out 991 times. It's the most in all of baseball. They got a top offense, but they strike out a bunch. And here, Imanaga, to Stevens' point, is kind of taking a different direction, letting them put the ball in play and being very efficient in doing so. Gonzalez takes a little extra time getting back into the box. 3-2 on Nick Gonzalez. And a bouncing ball. A little bit of confusion and an infield hit. Horner and Swanson converge. See if this will be the start of something big.
You wonder if Dansby Swanson, even though he went a long way to get this one, he's going, momentum is taking him a little bit more toward first base than Nico Horner going toward third base. Nonetheless, I think Gonzalez getting out of the box real well. Beats that out.
Fly ball to the line and left and a Happ. Another nice play by Ian Happ. Long run out of room quickly, makes the play.
Not a lot of room down this left field line, just past that short wall. Happ, having played here many times, realizing when he gets to that line, he knows he's going to be real close to that wall.
4 straight Gold Gloves for him. It's Merlin Valdez.
Yeah, and he's used to playing the left field line at Wrigley Field, which is even closer than the one here. As soon as you feel that warning track, you got to shut it down.
Here was another great defensive play he made last night. The throw to the plate. Henry Davis tagging.
Huge one at that, right, Greg? I mean, that was a huge part of the game. When we saw that ball hit, we thought, oh, we should have a chance to score, and there was a perfect one-hop strike.
It was a 1-1 game in the 7th inning. There's that splitter that's top foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Merlin Valdez has walked and struck out. 4 singles for the Pirates, down 8-0. Imanaga continues to baffle the Pirates. This shutout string continues. The 1 run they've scored in 6 career starts against him. The home run by Tommy Pham in Chicago, August of last year in the 4th inning. Came in with a whip of 111. That's 9th lowest in the league, an ERA of 3.91. This is 21st start of the year. Strikes out Valdez for a 2nd time. And now here's a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Lazy Boy recliners starting at $395 at Levin.
Ronda Hearns had one of the 2 best at-bats of the night against Imanaga. Lined out to right and singled to right. Ball 1 on the appeal down third base way.
Something I've been watching all night, Miguel Amaya back behind home plate, the way he sets up before the pitch is thrown. Every single pitch, he has the glove all the way up near the shoulder of the hitter. You take a look right there. And it must be a targeting thing for Imanaga.
Right down the middle and up the middle is Swanson.
Down payment on select Ford vehicles, plus a complimentary maintenance plan for 2 years.
You can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com or scan the QR code. Log in with your provider and get direct access to live games, plus all of the Pittsburgh sports content you love. Marinaccio out there after getting that last out in the 7th inning. Nico Horner lined out to Reynolds. It's Pedro Ramirez, followed by Swanson and Amaya. Not giving up the faith here. Line drive to right field. And trap. A couple of line drives put in play by these Cubs against Marinaccio. Dansby Swanson on base 3 straight times. $11 hits now for the Cubs. Pirates 4-4 this year against Chicago. They went 3-10 against the Cubs in the season series last year. Bucks and Cubs met at Wrigley Field in mid-April. And that's good to see. Javier Assad. Pirates saying, please bring somebody else in.
Anybody else, right?
Absolutely. Imanaga got 84 pitches. Now the Pirates took the first 2 games of the season series at Wrigley. Lost the finale. And then here at PNC Park, they won the first 2 games of the 4-game set, dropped the last 2. So they're in danger of losing 4 in a row to the Cubbies. Another hard hit, but this is going to be a line out for Swanson. Marinaccio walked Happ. Horner lined out to Reynolds. Ramirez lines a single to right, and Swanson lines out to left. Now Amaya. Marinaccio said he was thrilled to get the news of the trade. Coming from San Diego, he's an East Coast guy, Toms River, New Jersey. Former third baseman Todd Frazier from Toms River. In fact, Todd's brother Charlie was a high school baseball coach, Marinaccio. One ball, one strike on Amaya. Hit by a Skeens pitch in the third. Singled on the 1-2. That's such a big hit. With the runner at first, one out in the 5th inning. If Amaya hits that ball to an infielder, you get out of it with a double play. Instead, he singled to right. And that set the stage for Pete Crow Armstrong to deliver. Skeens goes 5 1/3, gives up 5 runs on 6 hits. And his ERA climbs to 3.65 for the season. Close. 2-2. Drafted out of the University of Delaware by the Yankees, Marinaccio. Trivia question for both Brault and Walker. The last Pirates pitcher from the University of Delaware.
I know this one.
It's too easy for you, right?
It is.
Okay. I'll give it to Neil.
Nothing's coming to mind right now.
Just keep your cool and strike out.
Chad Cool.
Bing, 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 bing. Did you know that one, Stephen?
I did,
Okay.
but he was not shy about letting everybody know. He went to the University of Delaware.
Pedro Ramirez picks up the steal. How about, let's figure, what was Brault's school?
Good luck.
Wait a minute.
Is it in Arizona?
No, it was in Colorado. It was in Colorado. Line drive, right field, and Pete Crow Armstrong, 2-run homer. This guy is ridiculous. Phenomenal year. That's his 23rd. He's homered in back-to-back games. His 4th hit of the night, and it's a blowout. My goodness.
Well, it's safe to say that WAR that we talked about that went up in yesterday's game is going to continue to go up for Pete Crow Armstrong. He just goes down.
Jeez.
Doesn't try to do too much, just meets this cutter at the bottom of the zone.
Allstate Good Hands replay.
He just does such a good job of extending his arms through the swing, right? So an off-speed pitch down like that, if he's not extending all the way through the zone, he's going to roll over on those. Instead, he's able to pull that double in the gap. That was away from him. He's able to hit that changeup down from Paul Skeens, and he's able to hit that cutter down from Marinaccio. That swing is not what he had before. He used to pull off the ball a little bit, and the change in approach has been incredibly useful for him.
Wow, Seiya Suzuki. It's hit.
Just a slider cutter that got away from Marinaccio there. See the action.
Now, Pete Crow Armstrong, when they traded for him, the Cubs, they dealt Javier Baez and former Pirate Trevor Williams deadline deal to get him from the Mets. Mets had drafted him first rounder 6 years ago out of Harvard Westlake. That's the school that produced Jack Flaherty and Lucas Giolito, Max Fried, Southern California. And his first year and a half or so in the big leagues, people were wondering about Pete Crow Armstrong, if he would ever really develop into the talent at the Mets thought they had drafted and then the Cubs traded for. But man, has he blossomed.
Yeah, those first 2 years he was essentially like a fourth type outfielder that could really run, obviously, and they'd use him against righties, but you'd see him pinch run and defensive replace late in games. He wasn't getting consistent at bats, and my goodness,
it was really frustrating Cubs fans and Cubs personnel. We'll talk about it all the time. You guys lived it. You just never know when a guy is going to figure it out as a pitcher or a position player. All the talent in the world. And how do you sustain it? A line drive to right field, and boy, just a tough first outing for Ron Marinaccio. They are just really centering these pitches.
Yeah, a lot of these pitches left over the middle of the plate. That one right there down the middle. Michael Busch able to get the barrel to it pretty easily. And there has been a lot of loud contact down here against Marinaccio.
Bregman now 13 hits, 10 runs for the Cubs. Well, the Cubs have
called the ball to catch a down.
Davis. ABS powered by T-Mobile. He's 2 for 2. Looks like he's going to be 3 for 3.
Call's overturned. Pittsburgh has 2 remaining.
Including Bregman, the Cubs have 3 first-round picks from 2015 in their starting lineup. Three of the first 9 first-rounders. A ground ball, diving stop there at third. Triolo, heck of a play by the Gold Glover, Jared Triolo. 10-0 Cubs. Time for the North Star Chevrolet Buick and GMC star of the game. It is again Shota Imanaga. 6 scoreless innings against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And he did it with the fastball. So many fastballs. 4-seamers to the righties, sinkers to the lefties. Most of his outs coming on the heater, which is not really what you expect coming into tonight after seeing the way he's attacked the Pirates with splitters in the past. But he was on tonight once again.
So 6 career starts against the Pittsburgh Pirates as Javier Assad.
And Assad's 17th game, has started some games, 8 of them. Has been pushed into relief duty mainly after the addition of David Peterson from the Mets.
Assad, no day at the beach, but if you're the Pirates, you'll take anybody but Imanaga, whose career ERA against the Pirates minuscule 0.24 in 6 career starts. That is amazing. Soon a line to center and fly to right against Imanaga. I talked earlier about the career ERAs, lowest against the Pirates over the years. Opposing starters, their first 6 starts. And Osuna dribbles that one to Assad. And it brings up Triolo. But the 0.24 ERA is the lowest by any pitcher his first 6 career starts against Pittsburgh. Lower even than Dwight Gooden's 0.72 his first 6 starts. Two. Largest crowd of the year here at PNC Park, and they are watching the Cubs pitchers. Imanaga, now Assad, toss a 4-hitter, and finally the Pirates will see a right-handed pitcher, Jameson Taillon, tomorrow against Braxton Ashcraft. Imanaga is the 8th lefty to start against the Pirates in the last 10 games. Unless the Pirates pull off a miraculous comeback, they'll drop to 9-22 this year against left-handed starters. Jacob Gonzalez, and it's a 1-2-3-7. 10-0 Chicago.
Beautiful all day and night.
10-0 on the UPMC scoreboard. Going to the top of the 8th inning. Pirates baseball presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. Jake Mangum moving from center field to left. Brian Reynolds out of the ball game. Billy Cook taking over now in center. And Tyler Callahan over at first base for Ryan O'Hearn. And the new pitcher is Brandon Eisert for Pittsburgh. James Triantos makes his debut against Eisert.
I saw Eisert on Wednesday in New York, his 31st game of the season, 31 innings, 36 strikeouts.
Triantos recalled from AAA Iowa yesterday. Makes his major league debut. Hitting .306 for the I Cubs. 7 homers, 52 ribbies. He's the 11th best prospect in the Cubs organization according to MLB Pipeline. And on an 0-2 pitch, his first big league at bat, delivers an opposite field single, and all the Cub players applauding him. And get the baseball, get the baseball. Now Justin Dean will pinch hit. Okay, guys, your first major league hits. Do you remember them?
Who doesn't, right?
Well, Neil has such a great memory. Neil, do you remember yours?
Yeah, Jason Mott. Right here at PNC Park, I believe September 5th, maybe, of 2009.
Okay.
Albert Pujols on first base.
Wow.
Yeah, very memorable.
And Stephen Brault?
Mine was Mike Leake, and it was also my first at bat in the big leagues.
And where was it?
In St. Louis, July 5th, 2016.
Down on strikes goes Justin Dean. By the way, I got an email from a fan who kind of scolded me a little bit, and understandably so. Last night, Stephen was wondering how you hit a guy. I don't know who we were talking about. Might have been Boyd last night, because he's down there in the dugout. And this person emailed me and said, you know, you didn't really respond, but Stephen Brault was a really good hitting pitcher .258 career average, not too shabby.
Wow.
That was before the DH in the National League. Always the self-depreciating Stephen Brault, humble as ever. Line drive, Pedro Ramirez into the left center field gap. He's going to get an RBI and scoring his first big league run all the way from first base goes James Triantos.
Changeup right here. Usually you don't see these balls in the gap get all the way to the wall, but Cook and Mangum were split pretty good in that left center field gap.
The Pirates are taking a thumping here. 11 runs, 15 hits for the Cubs. Paul Skeens went 5 1/3, gave up 5. Isaac Mattson 1/3 an inning, gave up 3. Ron Marinaccio, his debut, 1 1/3, 2 runs, and now Brandon Eisert, recently acquired from the White Sox. He's given up 2 hits and a run in this 8th inning. And the debut of James Triantos picks up his first big league hit in his first major league at bat and scores on the double by Pedro Ramirez. Sixth outing for Eisert as a Pirate. Two and two on Swanson. Talking about first round pick. Swanson was the very first pick in the 2015 draft. Alex Bregman was second, and Ian Happ was 9th overall in that 2015 draft. Kyle Tucker was 5th. They had him on the team last year. First challenge by the Cubs. Dansby Swanson, the Vanderbilt product.
Call's overturned. You have 2 remaining.
So both the Cubs and the Pirates keep both of their challenges. Henry Davis has been perfect with his challenges behind the plate. And now Swanson. So I'll play Callahan over to take a look. Just in the game, play first base for O'Hearn. Been a bit of a tough year for Swanson, coming in with a .213 batting average, but he's hitting about .350 over his last 8 ball games.
He's still doing a lot of damage, Greg. He's got 60 RBIs in the season, which I believe leads the team. 16 home runs. Even though that batting average closer to 200 than even 250.
Yeah, still producing.
Yeah.
711 OPS. Strikes out looking. Second K for Brandon Eisert, and now Miguel Amaya. Billy Cook, and we'll call off Valdez. Another run in, 11-0.
Biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. And by #1 Cochrane Club One Rewards. Earn points, save money, and get discounts on gas. Join for free at clubonerewards.cochrane.com. Well, that looked like, was that actual footage, real footage? That looked like AI generated. Henry Davis, we'd like to change that scoreboard, wouldn't you, if you could?
Yeah. Well, let's hope these Cubbies wasted. That does look AI generated, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
I think these Cubbies wasted their runs today. The Pirates can take it out on Davis and tie on tomorrow.
Yep. Davis hit by the pitch. Shakes it off. Pirates have gone through a number of catchers already this year. Jake Mangum. Andy Rodriguez should be back fairly soon, shouldn't he?
I believe he's out on rehab right now, as well as Spencer Horwitz. I believe he played a rehab game this evening as well.
Pirates had to place Rafael Flores on the 7-day concussion IL. There's Sean Ross, who could make his major league debut tomorrow. You know, Henry Davis won't catch tomorrow afternoon, so Sean Ross, a Puerto Rican native, could end up making his major league debut behind the plate. Mangum down on strikes. Assad faces Nick Gonzalez now.
Javier Assad, another guy who's going to be throwing a lot of fastballs. He's got 3 of them. He throws a 4-seamer, a sinker, and a cutter.
Fly ball to right. Well, that was unconventional. The part of Seiya Suzuki, but he makes the catch. That was wild.
Yeah, good swing by Nick Gonzalez right there. We've seen him use that backside with power in the last several weeks. Suzuki wasn't sure how close he was to that wall.
Well, they got some good outfielders here. Now, right now, it's Conforto, Justin Meade, and Suzuki left to right. Conforto taking over in left. Justin Dean in the center, and James Triantos over at second. Dean pinch hit, stays in the game in center. Triantos making his major league debut at second. First at bat for Callahan.
Just call the ball to catch the challenger.
See, both teams remain perfect in the ABS powered by T-Mobile department.
Call's overturned. Scott got 2 remaining.
Does Callahan pitch the 9th, you guys?
Ooh, probably.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Nobody warming up in the bullpen.
He'd like to field all 9 positions at some point. He's not caught yet, though he is the the emergency catcher. Said the Pirates have run through a number of catchers this year. Nothing like that 2011 season that Neil Walker was on. Remember they had 8 different catchers that year, Neil?
I think you asked me how many I could name at some point. I got maybe 4.
Callahan goes down swinging. We'll see if he pitches again in the 9th.
Here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Well, he makes his major league debut tonight. Sean Ross over at first base.
Yeah, not behind the plate. As mentioned, first base. Not a ton of bright spots for the Pirates in this game. Happy to see Sean Ross get his opportunity in a major league ball game. And Tyler Callahan is going to try to get the final 3 outs in the top half of this inning for the Pirates.
Been a bit of a secret weapon, saving the bullpen arms. Callahan makes his 4th pitching appearance.
Also put Ross in the 6th spot in the order, so he gets a chance to hit 3rd.
Yeah, that's right. So he'll bat. Sean Ross, the 26-year-old from Santurce, Puerto Rico. Michael Conforto's first at bat of the night. Well, Stephen Brault, you pitched in the big leagues. You played some outfield. You, in fact, were a converted outfielder and played independent league ball. Oh, sliding catch by Mangum. Well done. And he gets the out.
A little bit of communication late there. Jacob Gonzalez breaking off as Mangum makes kind of a half slide. Not often you see a guy slide for a ball in the outfield and just not really move.
Especially for somebody as fast as Mangum. Right?
Yeah. What's that like, Stephen? You went from pitcher to position player. And here Callahan from position player to the pitcher's mound.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Got to be a good athlete. Whoops.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that was intentional.
A message? You don't think that's a message being sent?
No, I don't think that 69-mile-an-hour fastball or changeup, as it registered, was a message. No, you know, it was fun. It was interesting. I enjoyed. I say this a lot, but that last year I did it basically because my arm was destroyed, so I wasn't really able to pitch anymore. So I figured one more year of professional baseball to actually feel like a baseball player again. I love pitching. It is not really being a baseball player, if that makes sense, especially at the big league level. It is so laser focused on just the pitching aspect. So it was really fun to go play for a year. Did pretty well, hit a few homers. It was fun. And then I came and started talking with you guys.
It's so impressive, though. Strike 3 called. And again, Callahan
makes this look way too easy.
It's unreal.
Giving Seiya Suzuki the old golden sombrero.
Yeah.
4 strikeouts on the evening.
On this night.
Yeah. But he arguably did have one of the biggest hits in the game as well.
Sure. 2-run single in the 5th. Gave the Cubs a 3-0 lead. And Michael Busch just slaps it to left. It's his 3rd straight hit.
Well, as is such in games like this, where you get 16 hits, there's usually one guy in the order that suffers a little bit, and that's Alex Bregman. Let's see if they can. That'll do it.
Pops it up. Callahan So his pitching is not that tough.
It's not.
His ERA is still at 0. 4.
Low APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
Recap what's happened so far in the game. Dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealer. Shota Imanaga did it again. 6 shutout innings. He's going to win this ball game. And Esperlin Valdez is going to reach base for a second time as he leads off the bottom of the 9th with a base hit off Javier Assad. So that's good to see. You don't want him, dragging this 0 for too much longer. He was 0 for 12 before that hit. Now Billy Cook. This is going to be out at second. Sean Ross will make his major league debut at the plate. Came on to play first base in the top of the 9th, and here is Sean Ross. Field. Justin Dean makes the catch. Well, again, we'll likely see him tomorrow unless they decide to bring back Andy Rodriguez right away after just one rehab appearance. Triolo 0 for 3. Pirates trying to avoid being shut out for the second time in the last 3 games. A lot of the Pirate fans have left the building. Cub fans enjoying this one. And the game ends with a strikeout looking, and the Cubs put a hurting on the Pirates. Pete Crow Armstrong led the way. A 16-hit attack.
Cubby's pretty good in all facets of the game today. PCA right there. Another big game after a big game in game 1 of this series. Imanaga was lights out. Pirates weren't able to score, and the Cubs were able to score a lot.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. 7, 8, 9 for the Cubs tonight. 6 for 12, 6 runs scored. When you got the bottom of the lineup going like that, you're going to be able to score a lot of runs. Unfortunately, Pirates just couldn't get it going against Imanaga again, man. That's fastball splitter combo. Got to figure it out eventually.
Pirates will try to avoid being swept tomorrow afternoon against Jameson Tyone. Braxton Ashcraft goes for Pittsburgh in the finale of this series as the Cubs whitewash the Pirates 11-0 on a Saturday night. Stick around. We'll send it back to the studio. Rob King, Matt Capps, and Alex Presley will